Welcome into another edition of the Movie Geek Podcast. My name is George T, and I'm your host as always. And we've got a few trailers to look at. This is the first time I'm actually going to show some new trailers. And we're just going to talk a lot of news. I've got a lot of stuff coming forward soon. Got a big announcement next week. Jennifer Nagel and her friend Charlie will be coming on. We're going to either do, I don't know, I know we're doing a collaboration. I don't know if they are going to record their podcast too, or it's just going to be mine, but who knows. But I'm excited to have Jennifer back on and have Charlie on as well. They are really, really funny together. So that'll be good. So for the Spotify people, obviously, will not see the trailers on this, but you'll get to hear the rest of it. So you'll get to hear my give and take as far as what I think of the trailers, and then we'll move on from there. But quickly, the weekend box office. Novocaine wound up being number one on one of the slowest weekends of, obviously, 2025, but in a long time, raking in 8.8 million. It's a tough weekend. Black Bag opened at number 2 at 7.6. It is a movie I want to go see, so hopefully I'll be able to get to see that soon. The number ones last week was Mickey 17 in third place at 7.4. Captain America still hanging strong at 5.6 in the fourth spot. So again, a lot of people might not have liked it, but it's still making money. So some people have said, "Oh, it's a bomb." But you know what? Marvel did what it needed to do with Captain America, and as much as people may not like it, they're doing what they need to do. And Thunderbolts is going to be just the same thing. And then final Fantastic Four. I don't know what to think of that, and I've said that it's not one of my favorites because again, it's been so long. They've done it so many times now, but obviously it wasn't Marvel, so that's why it gives me a little bit of hope. But at the same time, but I know it's leading to bigger things. Again, we are now going toward a big finale. We were in a rut, in a crazy rut with the multiverse and then the whole Jonathan Major thing, which I'll talk to you about in this episode a little later on because he's got a movie coming up this weekend. So again, I think they're on the right path. Number 5, George and I went to see this movie, and I will review it at the end of this episode. It is The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. It raked in 3.1. What do you expect from Looney Tunes? You know what I mean? I was very surprised that George wanted to see this movie. But it was a fun hour and a half. It is what it is. It's Looney Tunes. So, all right. So, opening this weekend is 3 big movies and then a bunch of small ones. So, I'll talk about them really quickly. Alto Nights is the big one that they're headlining. This is a Robert De Niro film, and he plays both main characters in this movie. So the film follows 2 gangsters in New York who were friends at one point, and then a series of things happen, and they become bitter enemies to control the city's streets. Well, De Niro playing both roles, I mean, as long as it's not 4 hours like The Irishman was, I think this will be seen. I don't know if it'll win the weekend, but it's got a good chance. I mean, you've got De Niro playing 2 characters. This is the year for a lot of actors to do multiple projects, or multiple roles in projects. So this should be very interesting to see if that is going to be the big one for the weekend. So another movie they are hyping is Ash. So this is a movie that was panned really well at South by Southwest. I was going to do an episode on South by Southwest, but there's so much stuff that came out of Southwest. It was just too much to research and everything else of the things that I wanted to bring up. So as they come out, I'll bring it in. But this one stars Eliza Gonzalez and Aaron Paul. And this is a movie where a woman on an expedition into space winds up in a crash landing and wakes up to find out that her crew has been viciously murdered. Another crew is sent out to find the wreckage, see if there's any survivors, and a unraveling of mysteries start popping up where they think that she was the one that killed her crew. So this is going to be a very interesting movie. I kind of liking the trailer to somewhat Dead Space. I mean, we don't see a lot of we don't see the necromorphs, but we just see um, you know a ship and just a crew trying to figure out how to get off a planet. We don't know what is on here, and you know, um, I'm trying to remember the other movie that was kind of like this. I can't remember it off the top of my head now. But this looks very, very interesting. So, I'm definitely going to go see this weekend. So, will it be up there with Alto Nights or even last weekend's Novocaine? Maybe. Who knows? But we'll see. And then the big one, the one that Disney is going to put out. I do have a show coming up with Disney movies coming up because there's been a lot of backlash about Disney doing a lot of these live action movies. Some critics have hated them. People have backlashed against doing live action, and some of them have been decent and some of them haven't. There was controversy of Little Mermaid a while ago. Actually made pretty good money. Snow White may make a lot of money. Who knows? But there's been a lot of controversy around it. It is what it is. People just aren't going to like it. The trailer itself, for me, watching it, uh, I'll see it, but I'm not going to see it in the theater. It's hard to know. I mean, will it bomb? Probably. It just seems like it's just leaning toward a bomb, which maybe Disney might scale it back a little bit. But who knows? Like I said, I've got an episode about this. So if it bombs or does well, I'll have all that information for you on one of these episodes coming up soon. Obviously, it stars Rachel Ziegler and Gail Goddard. So, another movie coming out this weekend in limited edition or limited theaters, Asian Persuasion. This is a rom-com about a underachiever who is divorced, trying to hatch a scheme to get out of paying alimony to his very rich ex-wife. I don't know. Why is he paying alimony? You know what I mean? It is what it is. There is one that I was interested in. It is also in limited release. The Assessment. This movie was panned to go out in last year. It was panned at some of the film festivals, but then it was shown at South by Southwest and coming out this weekend. Elizabeth Olsen and Hamash Patel play husband and wife who are controlled by. So the world has become very limited in its resources. So the government is controlling uh, pregnancies at this point, or reproduction. Don't get me started. So with the help of a assessor played by Alicia Vanderlyn, who was the new Tomb Raider, Laura Croft. She is placed in the home for seven days, and you know, uh, Mia is played by Elizabeth Olsen, and her husband think that this is going to be easy. Well, unfortunately, it becomes a psychological thriller to see if they're actually part of the human race. Weird sci-fi, right? So it does look pretty interesting. So I will definitely want to check that out. Um, Another movie, and I saw this trailer a couple weeks ago. Uh, Lot. Uh, this one is kind of wild. So Eddie, a guy named Eddie, played by Billy Skarsgård. Yes, he's not painted up in some paint or a clown suit or anything like that. You actually get to see his face throughout this movie. Um, he is down on his luck, and he tries to steal a luxury SUV from a parking lot. Well, little did he know that it was a planned trap by a wealthy man named William, played by Anthony Hopkins, which leads to a series of survival games. This has now become a death trap. Um, it is a wild and crazy trailer, and it looks like a wild and crazy ride. Again, not not on the billboard, not like a big hyped movie, which you would think these two stars would be. But we'll see. I think it'll make some money. I definitely probably would see it, but might not see it in the theaters. So then we've got um, Magazine Dreams. So this is the one I wanted to tell you about with Jonathan Majors. So this movie was originally set to come out in 2022, but with the whole allegation thing and him getting dropped by Marvel, they had this one in the can. So Magazine Dreams is about a man named Killian Madison who is looking for fame and fortune by becoming a bodybuilder. So he transforms himself, and it is all the dark side of it. Taking the drugs and the anger issues and going to jail and all that other stuff. And he's just trying to be famous. He just wants to be the best bodybuilder in the world. The trailer looks amazing, so it looks like a good story. So that's it's worth a look. Um, Another movie in very limited release. So I think it'll be on demand, in a couple weeks. McVeigh. So this is the story about Timothy McVeigh. So the early years, growing up, and then to the horrific, mass murdering, uh, when he planted the bomb at the Oklahoma um, federal building. And I remember I was in college at the time, just getting ready for history class, and the news had broken that the federal building in Oklahoma had been bombed, and just the horrifying reality of the situation where innocent people lost their lives, women, children, especially the children. Like they were in their little um, you know uh, nurseries and everything else, and their daycares, and again, just horrifying. So this should be a decent enough watch. And then finally, and this is a documentary, and Providence Place Mall is doing a Q&A session on Friday night. And I was thinking about doing it. I'm not sure I might. But a documentary called Secret Mall Apartment. Yes, if you know the story, there were 8 people living in a secret apartment that they built inside the busy Providence Place Mall. This started in 2003. They were only there about 4 years, but it became such an urban legend that eventually, after they had moved out, the organizers of the building found this apartment. So Jesse Eisenberg is actually producing this documentary. I find it fascinating that he would take on such a urban legend. It's kind of a crazy story. I remember when this broke, and I was thinking, wow, how did they get away with it for that long? That's just crazy. How does the mall not know that there's a secret, apartment in their building? It's just crazy. But it looks like a lot of fun. So there is that. So one movie that is dropping on that also came out of South by Southwest, but is coming on, I believe it's Amazon Prime, is Odessa. This stars Sadie Sink as a farm girl who is in search of a family heirloom and runs into the love of her life. This is a musical, so she tries to build him back up through song. It was well received there. Might not be a movie that I will watch right away, but probably will. And Sadie Sink is from Stranger Things, so if you like her acting, so it might be worth a look. All right, on to 2 trailers that I will be showing on the YouTube, and then my reactions to them. So, number 1 is Happy Gilmore 2. I've seen the trailer already, but I'm going to show it now if anybody hasn't seen this yet. And I'll tell you what I think in a minute.
Arnold, Jacko, Tiger, SpongeBob? What is that? What's with the beaver teeth? I haven't swung a club in years. I'm a little intimidated. All these guys hit it big now. I don't know where to start.
Come on, brother. Grip it and rip it.
I guess I need to update my happy place to something a little more age appropriate.
Mr. Gilmore?
Holy shit.
We're not done with golf. Let them see the happy I fell in love with.
Let's go.
We'll put a little extra into this one.
I am so sorry.
Okay, so what do you guys think of this? Is it going to be good? Or is it going to just be another sequel that is long past its prime. Again, it's been 25 years since the original Happy Gilmore. I want this to be good. And it looks funny, but I don't know. Again, this is why I put this in that second tier category. Like, I'm really happy, for Happy Gilmore to make a sequel, but it also is not one of the movies like I have a lot of expectations for. If this was done maybe 10, 15 years ago, probably would be, my ideas would be a whole lot different. But I don't know. I don't have a lot of hopes for this movie. But again, it's Happy Gilmore. I'm a golfer. I'm thinking I'm going to enjoy this movie. So I'm hoping it will. I'm hoping it will.
Hey, are you single? I'm a matchmaker. Give me a call if you want to meet somebody.
I deserve someone who fulfills all of my criteria.
Nothing over 20 BMI.
I don't want someone who likes cats.
I'm trying to settle.
I promise you're going to marry the love of your life.
How many marriages are you responsible for now, Lucy?
9. If the girl asks for a tall drink of water with a salary over 500 grand, you deliver.
You're the matchmaker. You want a drink?
Sure. Coke and beer.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, John.
Definitely didn't expect to run into you tonight.
I missed you.
Yeah, you don't even remember my face.
Lucy M., the Eternal Bachelorette.
You can do better than me.
My instincts are usually right. Hi.
Wow. You know how to do the math, don't you? You are what we call a unicorn. An impossible fantasy. How much is this apartment?
12 million. Not gonna marry him, are you?
Why not?
Because he's good looking and rich. Probably doesn't have roommates.
Is that my charger?
When I see your face, I see wrinkles and children that look like you. So where does that leave us? What are you thinking about?
I don't think I'm very good at my job anymore. We promised them love, but the math doesn't add up.
Why does anyone even get married?
Because they're lonely. And because they're hopeful.
I'm turning 48 and I think I need to meet someone more grown.
I have a really beautiful client. She's 31.
I wasn't really thinking 30s.
All right, so that was a trailer for a new movie that just popped up today. And it was called The Materialist. It stars Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans in a rom-com. I want to say more drama than anything. So Dakota Johnson is a world-class matchmaker, and she is, going around the city trying to match people up and so on. And lo and behold, she meets this handsome millionaire who is into her and not into what she's doing. Doesn't want to date anyone else, but wants to date her. But she has a ex or a friend of hers, and Chris Evans, who is kind of the guy that really she might want to be with, and they don't know how to get through all that. So it's a very interesting movie in that, but you get 3 really good actors and actresses. I know Dakota Johnson is, not everyone's cup of tea either, because obviously Fifty Shades of Grey. A lot of people didn't like her in that. I was not a big fan of Madam Web. But I think for some of the other stuff that she's done a brilliant job with. So I think this should be a very good movie. Um, and we'll have more on it when it comes out in theaters. So, with that being said, those are two movie trailers. I'm hoping to continue to bring you movie trailers, uh, especially with a lot of the episodes I've got coming up. I've got a lot of episodes coming up. I'm trying to pump out as many as I can. Last year, I was able to do almost 2 shows a week. I'm hoping to do at least 2, maybe more. But that being said, so that is the weekend and the two new movie trailers that came out. But now I'm going to review Looney Tunes movie. Again, I saw this movie with George, and again, I was really surprised that he wanted to see it. So, um, this movie had a very interesting uh, concept, but it is definitely not for young kids. It is PG-13 for a reason, and it has got a lot of adult humor in it. Um, Clearly, it has some undertones of what is going on in the world right now. There is a couple of scary parts probably for kids, but maybe not. Like it's not like horrifying, but when the aliens start kind of transforming with the one eye and stuff, it could be a little scary. That's why they put it at PG-13. Besides the fact that it is more adult driven than anything. So basically, this movie starts out with baby Daffy and Porky being adopted by Farmer Jim. Farmer Jim is of a different animation style. It makes the movie so crazy right away. So Daffy and Porky grow up in Farmer Jim's home, and then eventually Farmer Jim dies. We don't know why, but it's a funny little sequence where his animation and their animation kind of go in different directions. It's funny. It's just dumb, but it's funny. So now um, Daffy and Porky have um, the farmhouse, which now is in an urban neighborhood. They've leveled out the farm. So um, they have a house inspection coming up, and they don't have money for repairs. Um, but the night before, and they didn't notice this right away, but the night before, a scientist on a mountainside noticed that there was an asteroid headed for Earth. And an anomaly came out from behind it, some kind of an alien space probe or something. And it crash lands. It takes the top off the roof off of Daffy and Porky's house. It winds up crashing, and something inside starts to control the scientists. So we learn that their hometown has the world's leading bubblegum factory. So they're going to roll out a new flavor. And so Daffy and Porky are in the job world. They're trying to find a job so that they can pay for the repairs so that they can keep the house. If not, the house is going to be destroyed and they'd have to go find a new place. So they're trying all kinds of jobs. They get fired left, right, and center. And eventually they go to a little diner and they meet up with Petunia Pig, who is a researcher at the gum factory. She's trying to make new flavors. So there is a big flavor that's coming out, a berry blast flavor of gum. Well, the scientist winds up going into secretly going into the back of the plant and unloads this green uh, gunk into the gum, and the only thing that he can say is chew. So he's under this control of this gum. It's kind of a crazy story, I know. I don't want to give too much more away, but um, obviously the gum is manufactured. Um, Porky and Daffy have to stop the world from chewing the gum, and they use Petunia as the bridge. She's the one that's looking for a certain flavor to top the berry one that's coming out. She wants to be known as a better creator of better flavors. So um, they realize that the gum is uh, what's causing the zombie-like uh, infestation of the world. They realize that inside the gum there's little alien probes. Well, the leader of the aliens is trying to get them to blow big bubbles. Why, we have no idea until they wind Porky and Petunia and Daffy wind up on the ship. They try to stop this invasion, and the leader tells them that he wasn't out for world destruction. He was trying to stop the asteroid from hitting the Earth. So what he wanted was the world to chew the gum, to blow the largest bubble, and it would act as an ozone layer, but a rubberized one so that the asteroid would bounce off of it. Um, so again, it's really far-fetched because obviously, clearly, an asteroid would probably pop through the balloon, but it's hysterical. It's making fun of the fact that we're killing our ozone layer, and then an alien has to come down and make a large bubble around the Earth to save it. So then we get into one of the craziest ideas to stop the comet. We're going to do what Armageddon did. If you remember that, we're going to drill a hole and then we're going to put dynamite in there. Well, they wound up putting the gum in there to make it destroy because clearly they were able to manufacture it on the ship, and then they used um, those chattering teeth to try and chew the gum enough to where it will blow the hugest bubble and then make everything explode. Okay, really enough said about this movie. So um, clearly they save the Earth. Petunia gets a raise, and Porky and Daffy keep the house, and they build a mansion in its place because what happened was their house was destroyed during the zombie attack, and behind the picture that Porky kept of the two of them and Farmer Jim, there was a deed to the house that was insured for $5 million. So they wound up building this huge mansion at the end. It's a cutscene after the movie's over. It is crazy. It is Looney Tunes. I'm just going to give it an even. Again, it's more for adults than it is for kids, but it's Looney Tunes. You either like them or you don't like them. We were only 4 people in the theater. It was me, George, and 2 old people. You know what I mean? So, but then again, we go to a very small cinema. So, well, I don't want to say small. It's big, but a lot of people don't go there because it's part of a mall, which, of course, is a dying breed nowadays. And that's what I like about it. So, If you've seen the Looney Tunes movie or you're going to see it, drop me a comment, whether you liked it or not. Again, it's Looney Tunes. I did like it for that, but I can't also recommend it if you're not a Looney Tunes fan, or even if you are, go and see it, or wait till video on demand, or wait till it drops on Disney or wherever it's going to go. So, all right, with that being said, like I said, I've got so much content coming up soon. Monday, I'm looking forward to doing the collaboration podcast. I'm also going to drop a couple of movie reviews together. I did see The Parenting and Electric State. I'm going to do Electric State by itself because I was originally not going to, but I will save that for another episode, and then The Parenting, and then one other film with The Parenting. So look out for those. Also, I think I will drop my video game one when we get to April, because those two movies that we talked about last week, Minecraft and Until Dawn, which is my number one anticipated movie, is coming out in April. So obviously, clearly, Until Dawn is going to be R-rated, so I can't really say that it's not going to beat Minecraft in the box office, because I don't really know what the reception is going to be for Minecraft. I know that people are upset about the trailer and how it looks, but will people still go see it because it's Minecraft? Like, the younger kids will want to go see it with their parents. The older kids may not want to see it. And you know what I mean? So it's hard to say. But Until Dawn is R-rated, so you're not going to get the kids to go in there. You might get the teenagers who have played the game, or people like me who have seen the game, really are looking forward to how they adapt it to the screen. We've seen the trailer. It's an amazing trailer. So I think it's going to be really good. And then I've got a couple more. The Disney one I may put out next week as well, after I do Jennifer and Charlie's episodes. So there's a lot more to come. Thank you all for listening on Spotify, and definitely for your YouTube watching. I really appreciate it. I am putting a lot more effort into season 2 because now I've got equipment to do so. And even for Spotify, I'm trying to make sure I get enough content out there for you to hear. Going from Buzzsprout to Spotify has been a little bit of a weird transition, but if I'm going to get to where I want to be, Spotify has to be there. So I want you guys to continue to follow, comment, like, share content, and I will see you all at the movies.
You like that, baby? Let him know where I came from, yeah!
See you next time. Bye.
Waiting for you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's all, folks.